Yes, tomorrow morning you could add a teaspoon of a common white powder to your coffee or water. In just a few days, you might feel a warmth and vitality returning right where it matters most. That solid, confident sensation you remember from your younger years. No doctor visits, no risky medications, just 60 seconds every morning. However, surprisingly, most men your age don't know this exists. I'm Dr. Laura. As a specialist in men's health, I've dedicated my career to helping men reignite that spark. Whether you're 60, 70, or older, I've seen firsthand how the right natural approach can restore the performance and confidence you thought were lost forever. Your best years could still be ahead. Here's the surprising truth. The main reason men lose their edge after 60 isn't always testosterone. It's the loss of blood flow caused by a decrease in nitric oxide. Without it, even the strongest desire can't deliver results. But there's a way to restore that flow naturally, and it doesn't come from a pharmacy. In the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal the natural amino acid that works with your body to boost nitric oxide, open your arteries, and send healthy blood exactly where you need it most, so you can enjoy stronger, longer-lasting erections without risky medications. But before I tell you exactly what it is, you need to understand why circulation changes so drastically after 60, and why correcting this hidden cause could be the most important thing you do for your health and masculinity this year. Before we start, if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button and turn on the bell, so you don't miss any of my health tips designed specifically for men over 60. And if this message resonates with you, write a 1 in the comments. If not, write 0, and tell me how I can make these videos even more useful for you. Now, let's talk about why circulation down there changes so drastically after 60. Understanding what's really happening inside your blood vessels is the first step to fixing the problem, and will make the solution I'm about to share with you even more powerful and effective. When you cross the 60 threshold, your body carries decades of history, years of hard work, stress, celebrations, losses, and everyday life. Every heartbeat, every meal, every sleepless night has left its silent mark on your blood vessels. And for many men, that history starts to manifest in a very personal way. Things down there just aren't the same. I've been in front of countless men in my office who whisper their frustrations, some embarrassed, others angry, others just resigned. They tell me they feel fine overall, but when the moment comes, the response just isn't there. And they often think it's purely about desire or testosterone. But in truth, it's a story about circulation. Inside your body, there are miles of blood vessels, from big highways like the arteries in your legs and heart to delicate alleyways no wider than a hair. The smallest ones feed your penis and are about 3 times narrower than the arteries in your heart. That means any stiffness, plaque buildup, or inflammation shows up there first, long before you notice problems elsewhere. Over time, the once flexible lining of those vessels, the endothelium, becomes less responsive. It doesn't open as easily when you need a quick rush of blood, and without that quick flow, you can't get or maintain the firmness you once took for granted. What makes this even more frustrating is that it's not always something dramatic. The change is slow, almost invisible. At first, you might notice mornings are different or that you need more direct stimulation. Maybe it takes longer, or you lose firmness halfway through. And that silent shift can make you start avoiding intimacy, even if you don't say it out loud. But here's the part that should give you hope. Just because these changes are common after 60 doesn't mean they're permanent. In fact, once you understand the real culprit behind this decline, you can take specific steps to reverse it. And to do that, we need to talk about a molecule that controls whether your blood flows freely or gets stuck in traffic, and why your body produces much less of it with age. That's where things get really interesting. When I started practicing medicine, I thought I understood why so many men struggled with performance after a certain age. I assumed it was all about hormones, specifically testosterone. But as I delved deeper into the research and spent more time listening to my patients, a different picture emerged. Time and again, I found men whose testosterone levels were still in a healthy range, yet their ability to get and maintain a firm erection had faded. That's when I started focusing on something most men have never heard of: nitric oxide. Nitric oxide isn't a supplement or a vitamin. It's a molecule your body produces naturally, and it's the most important chemical signal for your blood vessels to relax and open. Without it, blood can't flow freely, especially to the smallest and most delicate arteries. Think of it as a green light at an intersection. Without that signal, traffic backs up. Your heart can keep pumping. Your desire can be there. But without nitric oxide, the blood simply doesn't get where it needs to go. The harsh truth is that your body's ability to produce nitric oxide declines dramatically with age. By 40, production is already waning. By 60, it can be reduced by half. That means your blood vessels aren't getting the message to open up like they used to. And here's where it gets personal. In the penis, where blood flow is the very foundation of performance, this drop in nitric oxide is devastating. It's the silent reason a man can go from full confidence to frustration in just a few years. I've had men tell me they tried medications that promised to fix the problem overnight, only to end up with headaches, flushing, or disappointment. Those medications can force the system temporarily, but they don't address the deeper issue: your body's dwindling nitric oxide reserves. And here's the good news. There's a way to restore those reserves naturally, to help your body produce nitric oxide again, day after day. It's safe, it's simple, and it starts with something you can measure in a single teaspoon. That's where the story takes a powerful turn. Over the years, I've seen countless men chase complicated routines in search of better performance. Strict diets, expensive supplements, grueling workouts, just to burn out before seeing real results. The truth is that most men over 60 don't need something complicated. They need something simple, something they can do without thinking, something that fits perfectly into the rhythm of their mornings. That's where this teaspoon comes in. The first time I recommended L-citrulline powder to a patient, I admit I wasn't expecting a miracle. I knew the science. L-citrulline is an amino acid that your body converts to arginine, which then turns into nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to relax and open. But I didn't know how powerful it could be when taken consistently every morning in the right amount. A few weeks later, that same patient came back to my office smiling in a way I hadn't seen before. He told me he felt warmer, more energetic, and, without going into too much detail, that his confidence in the bedroom was back in a way he thought was gone forever. 1 teaspoon. That's all it took to start giving his body the raw material it needed to restore blood flow where it mattered most. And it's not just him. I've seen men in their late 60s and 70s feel the same transformation. The beauty of L-citrulline is that it works with your body, not against it. It doesn't force an artificial rush of blood. It gradually rebuilds your ability to create nitric oxide naturally, so your results feel stable, reliable, and real. And perhaps best of all, it's easy. You can mix it into water, juice, or a morning smoothie. No schedules, no complicated regimens. Just a small habit you can maintain every day. But while this habit can change your physical reality, there's another side to poor circulation that no amount of science can ignore, and it's the part that hits closest to the heart. That's what we need to talk about next. I've been in front of men in my office who can talk about their cholesterol levels, blood pressure, even heart surgeries without batting an eye. But when the conversation turns to intimacy, their voices drop, their eyes dart away, and there's often a long pause before they speak. Poor circulation down there doesn't just affect the body. It cuts into a man's sense of identity in ways that are hard to put into words. It's not just about whether you can perform, it's about confidence, connection, and identity. I remember one patient, a proud, hard-working man in his late 60s, who told me he avoided even small moments of affection with his wife because he didn't want to start something he couldn't finish. You could see the frustration on his face, but beneath it was something heavier, the silent pain of feeling like an important part of his life had faded away. This is the hidden cost of poor circulation. It's not just physical, it's emotional, and it can create distance in relationships that once felt effortless. When circulation suffers, it can lead to doubts, insecurities, and even total withdrawal from intimacy. Some men dive into work, hobbies, or other distractions. But deep down, the absence of closeness leaves an empty space. It's a loneliness that can exist even when you're sitting next to someone you love. The good news is that I've seen this change. I've seen men come back to life, not just physically, but emotionally. When their blood flow improves, the smiles return. The lightness comes back to conversations. Touch feels natural again. That's why addressing circulation is so much more than just performance. It's about restoring a part of life that brings joy, purpose, and connection. But for that change to last, you need more than just the desire to improve. You need a habit so simple and effective that it becomes part of your life effortlessly. And that's where the true power of 1 teaspoon every morning becomes crystal clear. Over the years, I've noticed something consistent among my patients. It's not that they don't want to take care of themselves. It's that complicated plans rarely last. I've seen men try restrictive diets that lasted a week, gym memberships that turned into unused keychains, and stacks of supplements so big they looked like pharmacy shelves. The truth is that life after 60 already comes with enough challenges. The last thing you need is a health routine that feels like a second job. That's why 1 teaspoon works. It's simple. You don't have to rearrange your day, memorize a schedule, or track every meal. You wake up, take a teaspoon of L-citrulline powder, mix it into a glass of water or juice, drink it, and you're done. No thinking, no stress. Just a small, consistent action that sets the tone for the rest of your day. And here's the beauty of it. When something is easy, you actually stick with it. I've had patients tell me that before trying this, they felt overwhelmed by all the rules they were supposed to follow. But when they started this simple habit, they discovered it wasn't just doable, it was enjoyable. They could feel how it improved their energy, how their hands and feet were warmer, how their confidence grew, and how intimacy started to feel natural again. It's a chain reaction that starts with an effortless step. And unlike a quick fix or a pill that fades after a few hours, building nitric oxide levels with L-citrulline happens gradually and sustainably. It's not about forcing your body. It's about giving it what it needs to do the work itself, like it used to. That's why the results don't fade overnight. They build, week after week. But knowing how to take it correctly can make the difference between seeing mild results and truly transforming your circulation. And that's exactly what we're going to cover next. When it comes to something as important as your circulation, the details matter. I've seen men try the right supplement, but take it at the wrong time, mix it with the wrong foods, or stop just when their bodies were starting to respond. L-citrulline works best when you treat it like a daily ritual. Something you do with intention, not as an afterthought. I tell my patients to take 1 teaspoon, which is about 3 grams, first thing in the morning on an empty stomach. This allows your body to absorb it quickly without competing with a heavy meal. Mix it into a glass of water, a light juice, or even a morning smoothie. Just keep it simple. Some men make it part of their kitchen routine. They fill their glass while making coffee, drink it, and go on with their day. It's such a small habit that it's almost impossible to forget, but the effects over time can be remarkable. Hydration is another piece of the puzzle. Blood is mostly water, and when you're dehydrated, circulation suffers. That's why I recommend keeping a water bottle nearby throughout the day, especially if you're adding citrulline to your routine. And don't underestimate movement. Even a 20-minute walk after breakfast helps pump that improved blood flow through every part of your body. Patience is key. Some men notice changes in a week, but for most, the real magic happens after a month or two of consistent use. It's about building nitric oxide levels gradually, so your body learns to keep those blood vessels open naturally. This isn't a race. It's an investment in how you want to feel in the years to come. And once you understand how simple it is to take, the next step is knowing why this particular powder, and not dozens of other options, can deliver powerful, lasting results. That's where we tie the whole picture together. So here it is. Gentlemen, your teaspoon is pure L-citrulline powder. It's not a mysterious pill, not a gimmick, but a simple amino acid that your body already knows how to use. I've recommended it to athletes seeking better endurance, to men recovering from heart procedures, and to countless patients over 60 who wanted nothing more than to feel like themselves again. And time and again, I've seen how it helps restore not just circulation, but a sense of possibility. What makes L-citrulline so remarkable is that it works with your body's own chemistry. Instead of forcing a temporary rush like many medications do, it helps your body rebuild its ability to produce nitric oxide naturally. That means better blood flow to your heart, your brain, your muscles, and yes, to the place that matters most when it comes to intimacy. And because it's safe for most men and free from the severe side effects that can come with prescription options, it's something you can incorporate into your daily life with confidence. I've seen men who thought their days of passion were over come back with a sparkle in their eyes. I've seen relationships heat up after years of distance. And I've heard more than one man say, "Doctor, I feel like I got a part of myself back." That's not just biology at work. That's what happens when you give your body the tools it's been missing for years. All this from 1 teaspoon every morning. It doesn't require reorganizing your life, draining your wallet, or putting you at risk. It's about making a small decision consistently until that decision changes how you feel, how you connect, and how you live. And now that you know the science, the habit, and the emotional impact, it's time to turn this knowledge into action. In the conclusion, I'll share why starting tomorrow, not next week, not next month, could make all the difference for the man you want to be. This is what we've discovered. After 60, your circulation changes. Declining nitric oxide levels steal your confidence. But a daily teaspoon of citrulline can help you reclaim what aging took away. This isn't about turning back the clock. It's about helping your body function at its best natural state, without shortcuts or side effects. In my practice, I've witnessed remarkable transformations, not just physical, but in how men stand taller, reconnect with their partners, and greet each morning with renewed purpose. A simple daily ritual can create waves of change throughout your life. The question isn't, can this help? But how much better could life be? Tomorrow morning, that single teaspoon could start rewriting your story, one where vitality, intimacy, and confidence return faster than you dare to hope.